Thank you so much. I want to welcome you all for this evening session. We are starting today what we call Wellness Wednesday, whereby we shall be talking on issues that concerns our well-being. And this is led by one and only Y Mental Club from the YMCA Central Branch. And from this time, we want to start. So I'll hand over this mic to Kinya Kitonga, who will be taking us through this session. Will be hosting us and also sharing with us what is on the store with the Y Mental Club. So I don't know if Kinya Kitonga, are you able to, if you can listen?
Hi, Tito, and hi, everyone. I hope that you're all well. My name is Kinya Nina Gitonga. I'm very honored to have you all here. I was checking out if Mary has joined in. I can see that Collins is here. Yeah, so we will be hosting Mary Moai tonight, where we'll get to learn much more about wellness. But even as she is preparing to join, I really wanted us to have a discussion kidogo on our Wednesdays forum, where Sito has mentioned we'll be having Wellness Wednesdays. That is the webinars as well as the health quotes, which we'll get to be sharing each and every Wednesday. However, regarding the webinars, we'll be doing them bi-weekly. That means it's 2 times in a month. And with Wellness Wednesdays, we'll be discussing topics and everything that pertains our well-being, more specifically on our mental health, but not limited to mental health alone. We'll get to also learn on other aspects and also how we can enhance that. And so I want to welcome Collins as well so that you can get to say hi to us before we begin the conversation. Hi, Collins. How are you? Hi, Collins. Are you able to unmute? That's Tito. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. I don't know if Collins, if Sini is muted himself, I don't know.
Yes, I'm here. Yes, if you can hear me, Kenya, and Tito, I can see you around. Zephania Chair is here. I want to say I'm good today. I'm just looking forward so that we can interact, guys. So let us be open and share what we have. I hope it will be a wonderful session this evening. Otherwise, I'm good. Back to you, Kenya. Thank you for the opportunity.
Kenya, if you're talking, we can't hear you.
All right. Thank you, Collins, for that. And introduce today's topic is Wellness Wednesday, and we're looking at enhancing our well-being. So we'll get to understand wellness ni nini, why is it important, what aspects are to be covered, and also how we can enhance our well-being. So as we wait for Mary, I don't know if she is in the house with a different device, but even as we wait for her, I see that we have Liz, who is also an active mental health advocate. And so I wanted to engage us guys through the chat box. Feel free to contribute. If you have a question as well, you can raise your virtual hand and you can also get to engage us. If you have an input as well, usinyamaze na uko na point strong, also feel welcomed. So hapo kwa chat box maybe tunaweza keep on sharing on how do you enhance your well-being as a person? How do you enhance your well-being as a person? And then I'd get to welcome Liz to say hi and then to also introduce this wellness. See, wellness ni nini? What is it that we're talking about when we talk about wellness and well-being? Hi, Liz. At Lisbeth Nyawira. As we wait for Lisbeth, anyone else who has an idea, yote time tunasema mambo ya wellness, hiyo wellness ni nini haswa? You can try explain it in Kizungu, in Swahili, whichever way that works for you. It's an open forum, it's adult learning as well, but we normally say there's no right or wrong answer.
Hi, Kenya. Hi.
Hi, Liz.
Sorry. My name is Liz Nawira, and I'm a counseling psychologist and a mental health advocate. And I'm also a trainer and a lead team, part of the lead team in Sound Mental Health Foundation. What I know about wellness is just becoming, it's like an absence of illness. You know, you have a good physical health, good mental health, you're just okay. It's just an absence of illness that will make you have a fulfilling life. That is what I understand by wellness, Kenya. And I had a good day, and I'm delighted to be part of this meeting.
Thank you so much, Liz, for the insights. We really appreciate. So, whenever we're talking about wellness, as she mentioned, actually, it's the absence of illnesses. That means that mentally okay and in our physical health, you're also fine. And this is something that you really get to discuss much more because every time tunaongelea wellness, I know majority of us get to mental health. But then we forget that also our physical health is very, very vital. And whenever we're not okay physically, also your mental wellness could be compromised. If you're not okay mentally, that means that also physically you might not be doing quite well. And so I want to welcome Colin so that he can maybe share whenever we're talking about mental wellness, because Liz has just given us a general overview on the absence of illness. Now, when you talk about mental wellness, what is it exactly? Because maybe we'll have a webinar someday where we'll be majorly discussing on mental wellness. So, what is this mental wellness? And maybe how do you know you're mentally well and if you're not mentally well?
Okay, I hope I'm loud and clear. Kenya, you can confirm. And I'm very much honored to be in this forum this evening. I just wanted to share, actually, basically, you have to know very well that mental wellness, it is something very basic, very intricate, and in our life, it is the fundamental, it is the foundation, actually, mental thread that weaves through our experiences, our emotions, and our well-being. So basically, on okay, whatever I've been told just to share with us this evening as we start is just about mental wellness. So basically, mental wellness. This is it means your mind is in order and it's functioning in the best of your interest. What do I mean? There are sometimes you can be faced with challenges. Are you able to adapt to these challenges? There are sometimes it comes at times where there are stress. There are these moments you cherish, and there are those bad moments. Are you able to cope up with these moments? So that is when we can say that you are mentally stable, or you are mentally well. That is being able to cope up with this emotional. You have the psychological and also the physical being of an individual. So that is when we can say that one is able, from my perspective, the one is able or mentally well. Thank you for this. Back to you, Kenya.
Thank you so much, Collins, for sharing that. And as you mentioned, mental health is very delicate and it's very important that we take care of well being. And even as we talk about mental wellness, it's important we know that there is mental illnesses, there are mental disorders, and the basic way of knowing if you're mentally well or if you're not mentally well, it's where we look at mental health as being the psychological, emotional, and social wellness of a person. Because we look at the psychological, it's just generally your mind. Are you at peace at that particular time? Are you okay? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling nervous? But when we look at emotions also, remember that it's very healthy to feel anxious. It's very healthy to feel worried once in a while, but then it becomes an issue if it actually gets in the way of your day-to-day routine, or also it gets to affect how you relate with people, how you get to work. That's when we now say that it's an issue and it's something that needs to be attended to. And so whenever we're looking at mental illnesses or mental disorders, just like tunaona mtu anaumwa na kichwa, or maybe there's someone who's having a backache, that's the very same thing with mental health. It's just a specific sphere of your psychological well-being isn't quite okay. Or maybe when you're looking at mental health also, it's maybe when something isn't very right, or probably the environment you're in, where you're having psychological distress. That's an indicator that mentally you're not quite well. And I see you have Zephania on board. Karibu sana. I wanted to welcome him kidogo atuambie in regards to sports. How do you know that physically someone isn't well? When you look at the physical wellness of a person, how do you get to know someone is well or someone isn't well? Hi, Zeph.
Hello, mnanisikia?
Loud and clear.
Oh, niko mahali kwa barabara so how do we get to know that someone is not physically okay in terms of sports? Ah, so how we get to know that a person is not physically okay ni kama alikuwa anapenda certain sport and to some reason then hawezi kuicheza, maybe ako na injury, maybe it's not an injury that tunaweza ona, it's an internal injury, alianguka mahali, then if they cannot play a game that they used to like or a game that they used to feel like inawapea ile motisha ya kuicheza, then we know that this person is not physically okay. I hope nimejibu.
Hi, Zephania. Yes, thank you so very much for contributing on that. So, when you're looking at physical wellness, we're just looking at generally how a person is physically. And he gave us a very important example of maybe when someone has an injury, or maybe when someone is just not okay. And things or sports that they used to love, they do not like them anymore, or maybe they're not in a capacity to be able to engage with the very same activities. And then you can also look at the general wellness of a person. Also, when you're looking at ailments, probably they have back pains or maybe they are not just okay physically. So that is what we can get to define with the physical wellness. But then I really wanted to define mental distress, where it's the brain's expected and usual response to the stresses of each and everyday life. And then we're looking at mental health problem, because at times tukisema mental health mtu anajaza mental health disorder. No, you have to know that there's a difference between mental distress, there's mental health problem, whereby it's the brain's response to a persistent life problem. Maybe kitu inaendelea and it's quite upsetting you, or maybe it's difficult for you to adapt in a situation. And now this problem is what prolongs to a mental disorder. And where we're seeing that is now after persistent problems or probably situations, that's when we now get to have mental disorders. So every time tukisema mental health, we could be talking about mental health wellness. We could be talking about mental health disorder. So tusijazie tu tukisikia mental health tunafikiria kuchizi peke yake. Not really. And we see that Mary has joined in. I will welcome her to say hi. And after saying hi and doing a bit of an introduction, she'll also get to walk us through how do we enhance our emotional wellness. Remember, we said that mental health as the key components, which is social, psychological, and also the emotional aspect. So, welcome, Mary, to say hi and also walk us through enhancing emotional wellness.
Hi everyone. Oh, mnanisikia? Kenya, can you hear me?
To you, yes, you're very clear.
Uh, Thank you for the ones who have joined. I'm glad to be here. And my name is Mary Moi. I'm a student at Pioneer International University, also a mental health advocate and a member of YMCA and Sound Mental Health. And about mental, Kenya, you have told me to talk about?
Emotional wellness. We've just tackled the general mental wellness, a tiny on physical wellness, and now we are at emotional well-being.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. So emotional well-being, most of the time we're talking about how to manage our emotions, and some of the ways that some of the activities that you can do to manage our emotions. One is to practice daily gratitude to focus on positive aspects of life. For instance, you can have like a like a gratitude jar where you write things that you are grateful about every day. Maybe like today you are grateful you did not wake up late, maybe you're healthy, you don't have a stomach ache. Have something to be grateful about every day. Another thing is to engage in regular physical activities to release stress. For example, you can take a walk, you can go to the gym, you can do some morning run or evening runs. Like just make your have regular physical activities. Also, you can do maybe like just physically to make yourself active, like walks, running. Also, another thing is to maintain a consistent sleep schedule for emotional stability. Like make sure you have enough sleep. I know we have some people who sleep like 2 hours, 3 hours, which is not recommendable. Have at least sleep at least 7 to 8 hours. Like you basically have uh, enough time to sleep so that you can rest well. Another thing you can do is journal, wrote and feelings to process your emotions. So you can have like a journal where you write how your day was, whether you had a bad day or a good day. Maybe in the morning, you when you're going to work or to school, ulipata jam, maybe ukachelewa na class. Just pouring your emotions on how your day was, like basically writing down how you experienced your day. Another thing you can do is connect with loved ones regularly for emotional support. Maybe it's your friends or your parents. So you can connect maybe through phone calls, video calls, SMSs, texts. Like you feel connected with people who you feel emotionally safe around. Something else you can do is practice mindfulness to stay groomed into the present, maybe in the morning or before you go to sleep. Something else you can also do is take a break when needed to avoid burnouts. I know most of the time we do a lot of work. You want to meet deadlines. You have schoolwork. You have projects. So sometimes it's okay to take a break. Maybe a nap, maybe 1 hour, or take a walk just to avoid being burnout. Because when you are burnout, when you experience burnout, you are not going to be in a position to work well. For example, someone can talk to you and you're just feeling so tired. you can find yourself being rude. So take time to have a break to avoid burnouts. Also have set boundaries to protect emotional well-being. uh, these boundaries you can set with your friends, with your classmates, with your colleagues, so that so that someone can know that if they tell you something like this, it can irritate or agitate your emotions. So it's very much okay to set boundaries to avoid to protect your emotional well-being. Another thing you can do is engage in creative activities like art or music. So you can maybe go for art festival where you can do some sip and art. Also, you can listen to your favorite music. Also, you can do some dance, which makes you. It's a form of connecting your emotions with what you love. Like painting, it's basically not about what you are painting. Most of the time, it's about the process of painting and how those colors make you feel. And something else you can also do is volunteer or help others to foster a sense of purpose. Maybe like talk to people, engage with people, uh, share what you know about emotions, try to connect with people, and uh, you see how they feel about it. And also, when you're helping someone else, you also feel good, unlike when you're hurting someone. Yes, Kenya, I think I'm done. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Mary, for sharing that. I really appreciate. And the reason as to why we're talking about emotional intelligence tonight, it's because it's one of the components which is rarely talked about when you also look at mental health. Majority of the times we talk about behavior, majority of the time we'll talk about the essence of social support, having friends and such, but emotional intelligence or emotional wellness isn't really talked about na ni kitu yenye it's very very crucial. So she started with enlightening us on ways on which we can enhance our emotional wellness. And Apple chat box and requested us guys to answer. For those who are joining us, we are generally understanding what is wellness. Now that we'll be having wellness Wednesdays. So we're looking at generally the key components of wellness and well-being. And you can request us up for chat box. We can contribute and share how do you enhance your wellness at a personal level. What is it that you do that you know that it contributes to your well-being on a day-to-day basis? And then I also mentioned that in regards to this, we're looking at mental wellness and physical wellness. So whichever strategy that you use, please share with us. I'm so sure there's someone who will learn something from whatever you're going to share up on the chat box. So when you're looking at emotional intelligence on its own, I believe that emotional intelligence isn't only beneficial to you, but it's also beneficial to the other person. When you are aware, when you're able to recognize your emotions, it will also enhance on how you relate with people. But then with emotional intelligence also, you're able to recognize and be aware of maybe how someone else is responding, or probably at times how the emotions can fluctuate. And I believe that it enhances also how you relate with people and how you're able to at times handle conflicts and resolve them. So we have one of our psychologists as well in the house, Vicky. I'll get to welcome him so that he can let us know. Did you get to know that emotionally you need assistance, or maybe you're not able to handle or manage your emotions? And if you know it's an issue, then whom do you reach out to so that they can get to assist us? Um, Hi, Wycliffe. I don't know if he's still in here ama ametoka. If weekly visit around, I also welcome Home Hashem, who is also an active mental health advocate, so that can get to say hi and share with us how do you know that emotionally you need assistance, and where do you get such kind of assistance? Because I believe that behavior is easily noticeable, and at times people can get to easily let you know that I think you need to work on this and that. But when it comes to emotions, at times we are also quick to defend. I mean, sikasirikage haraka. Mimi sina shida ya anxiety. Now, how do you know it's something that is affecting your well-being and also the well-being of someone else? Uh-huh. Hi, Shem, are you able to unmute?
Hi Hina, how are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm good. I thank God.
Karibu sana.
Niko kwa kelele. I will I be able to speak well? I can use the chat box.
All right, that's quite well.
Yes.
Thank you. So I'll give the question back to Collins.
Yes, you, Kenya, you just asked how do you know that you are emotionally disturbed, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Actually, first of all, as we started, actually, you were sharing that. I like the way it's called Jonathan Hanik. He puts it that those people who are very strong, the strongest people are those people who fight or win the battles that we are not aware of or unknown or we are which are unknown to us. So these battles actually they are always fought in the mind. So as we said that when you are emotionally or mentally well, this is when you are holistically you are able to embrace the emotional, the psychological, and even the social equilibrium. You can balance these things, and when you find that your emotions, your your emotions, can affect your social well-being. Like saa nyingine unakasirika sana, you find that it can affect your social well-being with other people, or you saa nyingine unafurahi sana until some people are so you can just be excited all of it until mtu anakuuliza kwani wewe unakonga chizi, someone can ask that are you always mad, kitu kama hiyo. And sometimes you find that some people are just quiet, some people they don't like relating to people. So you find that when the emotional and the psychological and the social you cannot balance are not at equilibrium. At times you find that you will just learn from the characters of this individual, but it's always advised, especially let's say even men, sometimes you are advised not to cry whenever something is burning in you, which is a lie. It is always actually I'm a psychologist as well at Tuka, so cry actually is always a therapy. So you find that when these things don't balance, actually it will come to burst out where the emotional in you, the psychological in you, and the social being in you not balance. So when you find that you cannot relate well with the people, it is always very advisable if you have a problem. It is always very advisable to seek uh, uh, an assistance or an advice from someone whom you really trust, because actually some people you might ask them for assistance and they use the words or against you, they start sharing it or to people who are not relevant. So this one may really affect you as well. So you find that or you find that kuna rafiki yako, you have your friend there, you want to trust this person. How do you, yes, thank you. How do we, was that my question or that's a personal question? Okay, individual question. But you find that you have a friend of yours, you need an assistance from him or her, but you have a problem. So it is always very advisable to seek guidance from these people whom you really trust. And basically, what we have here, we have your friends, you have your relatives, you have have the family, we have the society as well. So it is very crucial to even let me say for those people who are working, you have your workmates and colleagues. For those people who are in colleges or institutions, we have the peer counselors in the school or your friends whom you really trust with an information. So these people are sometimes the people whom we have because in psychology you always see that there is stepping into the fear. That is now you have the fear with you, but you cannot run away from that fear unless you face it and do away with it. So basically, we have to ask for an assistance from this person we really trust with the information, and which is very key. And if you cannot find that person in you, we have even the counseling. So don't feel shy. Don't always feel shy because mental health is very key. And I told you I like the way Jonathan puts that those people who fight the battles and their warriors and those people who fight those things that we are not aware of. So just always learn to express yourself. Just release that thing that it is swollen in your heart kitu kama hiyo or something you want to say, but just find the best way you can always express it to the person who you can always express it. Thank you. Akinya, back to you.
Thank you so much, Collins, for sharing that. I believe that as you were sharing, is also gotten to engage us in 4 aspects. I see that Wajakoya has raised his hand. Yes, Wajakoya, please unmute.
Hi everyone. Hope mko fiti.
Tuko poa.
Mungu hata kuambia tu Collins, kuna time alikuwa sasa sijui network yangu ndio mbaya ama yake, like it was anaenda akipotea, so sikuwa napata vizuri, but anyway sawa.
It's all right. Thank you so much for that. And when you're looking at emotional intelligence, I'll get to summarize what Collins has mentioned. He's talked on the essence of self-awareness, which is a component in emotional intelligence and emotional wellness. This is where you're actually aware of emotions. And basically, when you're looking at emotions, you can be times whenever you're close to being angry, whenever you're close to being excited, you can tell because the body also responds. Probably also at times whenever you are to feel how your body is responding. So whenever you're self-aware, you're always able to tell this is going to happen next. It takes some time, it takes effort and also intuition. Ile yenye you really want to learn more about yourself. And then also this means that you're also aware of the environment that you're in. And you mentioned on the aspect of self-regulation. This is where you are able to tell Nikikasirika, this is what I normally do. But then am I able to regulate myself? If someone else maybe says something around you, ile yenye haikufurahishi, are you able to respond in an appropriate manner? And then also relationship management, which is key component in emotional wellness, where you're able to communicate effectively, as you mentioned, and also expressing yourself. Because at times you may be emotionally upset, we're not able to handle it, we end up projecting to people, and at times you're not also able to communicate that whatever so and so is doing isn't okay with you. So ni muhimu sana pia tuweze kujifunza on the aspects of relationship management and communication. And lastly, also social awareness. Whenever we are aware of maybe the situations that we're in or the environments that we're in, it also gets to contribute on how we enhance and also how we get to practice emotional intelligence. And also as we're moving forward, kuna watu hapa wamecontribute kwa chat box. Thank you so very much. Let us keep the conversation ongoing. How do you enhance your well-being at a personal level? Remember tunasema at times what I do may not work for you and what you do may not work for me. But I believe there is someone who can learn different ways of enhancing their mental wellness from whatever contributions we'll be sharing hapo kwa chat box. And also prepare your questions so that we get to respond to them. If you have a question pia, you can just text up kwa chat box. And as Mary was engaging us, she mentioned on the aspect of mindfulness. So I'll get back to her ndio atuelezea hii mindfulness ni nini. I would also love to practice mindfulness, but maybe I don't know how to go about it and why it's important in enhancing general physical and mental wellness. Back to you at Madam Mary.
Thanks, Kenya.
As she prepares, we'll get to prep Liz also that will say how do we practice self-care, because when we're looking at mental health and physical health and wellness in general, we cannot avoid the aspect of self-care. So once Mary is done, we can also get to hear from Liz on how do you enhance ama tuna practice aje hii self-care na hii self-care ni nini. So Mary, are you ready? Collins, you raised your hand.
Okay.
Yes, I am. Okay. Maybe Colin can start.
Okay, I just wanted to add actually because the notes I think I don't know where Mary is because I think we had the same. So about mindfulness, I just wanted to add something before Mary shares what is mindfulness and basically this is paying attention to the moment, to the present moment. Okay, it is paying attention to the present moment. So sometimes guys, let us not always take things casual as they have been. So sometimes tunaambiwa to let us be present. So sometimes we are told don't worry about the future because the future will take care of itself, but even the past does not worry about the past because they are the past and we cannot change them. So Mary, you can just share. I just wanted because yes, so to share that before you share as well. Mary, back to you.
I think we have the same notes. Yes, I think we okay. Thanks, Corinne. I think we are sharing. Maybe we did research on the same field. So we're going to talk about how to do mindfulness. Is that what you asked, Kia?
Yes, and why is it important that we learn mindfulness?
Okay. Yes. I think mindfulness is more about reflecting how your day was and how it makes you feel. And I think it's good for since we're talking about mental well-being. I think it's very necessary for someone to reflect how how the day was. It helps you maybe see where did things go wrong. Maybe what would you have done best. So some of the ways you can do to practice mindfulness. One is maybe you can practice one here. Maybe we can start by taking a deep breath, then we pause kidogo, then we inhale out. So we can do kwenye tu mtu ako. So we're going to do like 10 seconds. You breathe in, and you breathe out. So those are some of the ways that you can do to practice your mindfulness. Uh, you can start your day with a few minutes of deep breath, maybe before you go to work or you go to school or start your normal activities. Another thing you can practice mindfulness is by taking short breaks to focus on your on your breath during the day. Maybe when you go for tea break, maybe when you go for lunch break, maybe ukienda choo ya saa kumi. When you are taking those breaks, you can maybe do some breathing in and out. Also, you can use guided um, meditation apps to stay present. There's some apps which have those they have instruction on how to do mindfulness. You can also use YouTube. I think there are also yeah there are people who have those things in their accounts where you can go and check maybe Facebook, TikTok. There's some people who have those instruction on how to do mindfulness. Uh, Another thing is reflect on your thoughts and feelings in a journal. I think I had mentioned this earlier. That is something else you can have a journal. If you don't have one, maybe you can purchase one. You can write how your day was and share your thoughts in words. Uh, Another thing you can do is focus on one task at a time. You avoid multitasking. Most of the time, we find ourselves we have a lot of things to do, and maybe we have a deadline where we are supposed to meet, so we kind of do things in a hurry. So try to do one thing at a time to avoid a lot of things in your plate. Another thing we can do is spend time in nature, uh, observing your surrounding, like maybe when we have walks, maybe people have the walks, they have the activities that people do people have walks, other activities that people to do outdoor, which help you reconnect with nature. Maybe mount climbing, things that help you connect with nature. Maybe go and watch a waterfall. Go for go and spend time in the river if you're in the villages. So those are some of the things that you can do to connect yourself with nature, and also observe your surrounding. Is your environment clean? What can you do? Maybe plant trees. Maybe do gardening. These are some of the things that can help. Something else is practicing gratitude. Always be grateful. Like every day, have something to be grateful about. Another thing is uh, engage in mindful walks, paying attention to each steps. When you're when you're doing your walks, maybe you can do your walks and listening to music. Yes. Something else is using techniques to stay centered. Yes, and also expressing how you feel. So those are some of the ways that you can do to practice mindfulness. And mindfulness is good. You can maybe practice. You can start by the things that won't the small things like maybe taking a deep breath in the morning. Back to you, Kenya.
Thank you so much, Mary, for sharing that. Remember, as you said, guys, to listen, mom, when you're looking at mental health, it is intertwined with your physical wellness. And when you look at the physical health, it's also intertwined with the mental health. And Mary has shared several strategies which you can use to enhance mindfulness. 'Cause at times, I to mindfulness, but I really want to learn this mindfulness. I just don't know how to go about it. So those are ways in which you can enhance mindfulness. And most of the strategies actually tap into your mental health and also into your physical health. Because when she mentioned something to do with nature, you're walking, it's physically challenging you and it's also mentally quite important. So let us try to incorporate these activities on our day-to-day life. Tukizoea itakuwa easy. It actually get to be more of a routine and not more of a task. And it's important that we also get to be aware of our surroundings. Mindfulness is just being in the present. A lot of us tuko hapa lakini tunawaza sasa after this what next? Maybe you're sleeping and you're still thinking what happened 3 days ago. It's important to think about the past, the future as well, but then also be grounded in the present so that you can be aware of everything that is going on around you and also how you can get to manage And as we wind up, there is a question in the chat box where we've been asked by Aristide, and the question is: in what ways does societal pressure influence young people's wellness? In what ways does society pressure influence young people's wellness? And if you have a response to the same, I welcome you to kindly text as we get to hear from Liz. Then we go back to the question. Hi, Liz. Are you in a position you can unmute? Lisbeth Nyawira.
Hi. Please pardon the question.
The question was, why is diet important in enhancing our mental health?
Okay. When you talk about diet, it is one of the physical self-care that we practice when it comes to mental health. And what I can say is that through observing a good diet, you're going to have a stable mental health. And Kenya, can you hear me?
Yes, you're clear.
Okay. What I can say about diet is it is one of the physical practice of maybe it is one of the physical way of practicing self-care, and it really improves our mental health, because when it comes to diet, good diet ama nutrition will supplies to the brain, and we all know that brain relates with mental health. So our brains definitely, most of the time, requires a steady supply of nutrients so that you can be able to function well. For example, examples of the diet that maybe are really needed in our brains ni kama omega-3, the fatty acids, the vitamins. And another thing is you find out that diets also regulate our moods, because we have certain diets that regulate our mood, and definitely enable us or they help us have our good mental health. And then also a good diet will able to stabilize our blood sugar levels. Eating regular balanced meals that include maybe complex carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats will help you maintain a stable blood sugar levels, which is very important to stabilize your blood sugar level for the sake of your mental health. And
Thank
then
you.
another thing is you should also remember that uh, to work on our cognitive functions and memory. A nutritious diet supports us cognitively, so we should really work on our diet so that we can be able to have a good cognitive functions and memory. Back to you, Kenya.
Thank you for that, Liz. I believe that you've shared on the aspects and the essence of having a nutritional, a balanced diet. When we look at nutrients, they are what strengthens us. When we look at also our immune system and our ability to fight off diseases, is majorly supported by the foods that we take in. It's an area that we have a lot of fast foods. At times we prefer snacking more, but then enhancing whatever we're eating is very important. And let us not also forget to hydrate. Looking at diet also, it will enhance our ability to, work on the mood regulation. As she mentioned, the aspect of cognition. That's where we're looking at thinking, making decisions, the aspect of recall. It's all enhanced by whatever we get to eat. And so it's important that we keep up with our nutrition and also have a balanced diet. This is where we're looking at the aspect of, I repeat again, hydration. Because a lot of us asubuhi ukikunywa chai, pengine umeenda mahali, umekunywa chai tena, you even forget about taking water. Yet it's very, very essential, very, very important. And when you look at self-care, This is where we're looking at also aspects of journaling, physical activities, having a social support system. We're looking at you also getting enough sleep and all things that will get to enhance your well-being in general. And I wanted to welcome Chris so that he can say hi before we end. And our chairman Zephania will get to end the conversation as well. But before then, kuna comments hapa kwa chat box where we learned about wellness from Shem. He said it's making choices that lead to a balanced and fulfilling life. And as TJ says that it's the act of practicing healthy habits on a daily basis, not mara moja alafu unaacha. Pengine kesho jaribu mindfulness, ujiambie yenyewe nimeweza, then the next day you forget. No, it's a daily basis. And then Merab also adds that to know when someone is emotionally unstable, you can look at the expressions. At times you may really hide how you're trying to somehow fix up the behavior, but then facial expressions never lie. That's where we say that non-verbal cues of communication ni muhimu sana. Unaweza waje nikwambie niko fit, lakini maybe I'm in pain and my face imekunja kunjwa. So you'll be able to tell. And then she also says that she maintains her well-being by thinking positively, positive self-talk. I always wonder if you try something mara mingi na kufrustrate, what is it that you tell yourself? Do you choose to encourage yourself or do you choose to kujishusha chini? So it's important that we enhance positive self-talk. And then again, positive self-talk si ile kujiongelesha ni kama mechizi, because a lot of them watasema, hey, sasa mimi nikijiongelesha si nitakaa kama mwenda. Not really. Ni when you're trying to psych yourself up, you're trying to motivate yourself up, you're trying to believe in yourself even before other people believe in you. And I welcome Nancy atuambie kidogo kuhusu hii question on how does society pressure influence young people's wellness. And saying that she had raised her hand atatusalimia na pia tusaidie kujibu hii swali. Najua kila mmoja wetu hapa lazima akuwe amepigwa pressure mahali siku moja. Inaweza kuwa huko nje, inaweza kuwa shule, inaweza kuwa workplace. How do you manage that? Hi Nancy. Well, I think she left. All right. So when looking at society pressure, this is something that we get to experience once in a while. And at times ukisema pressure, I know we're thinking of peer pressure. But in every stage of life, there is always pressure on its own. Could be academic pressure, as I mentioned, could be work pressure, anything. And we normally say that stress actually it's just a body response to pressure. And pressure at times ni kitu yenye you cannot avoid. At times it hits you when you never expect it. And now in a generation where we have social media and we're getting exposed to an array of all sorts of things all over the world, it brings on board comparison with it. And comparison is a good thing. It's very important to at times compare where you are at and where you want to be. I know that the biggest thing that you need to compare yourself with is yourself, where you are yesterday and where you are today. So you can improving at a personal level. And so society also at times, I normally look at it in a point whereby kuna pressure usome, umesoma wanakupesha upate job, mpata job, there's a pressure to marry, you're married, there's a pressure to have children. There's always what next. And that is where mindfulness now comes in. Where yes, you're anticipating the future, but then you're mindful of where you are in and at the present. Because also you may be looking much quite on what next, and you forget to enjoy and live the moments. At times things that happen now and then you may not be able to redo it again. So it's important that you do not succumb to societal pressure. We do not succumb to unnecessary comparison, but then you're mindful and we get to enjoy each and every moment as it comes, but also not forgetting that there is a tomorrow. I believe that is one of the best ways to handle societal pressure, where you're mindful of what is happening and you get to also be content with where you are at that particular time, but then also working on where you want to get tomorrow. Yeah, so that's my response. So I welcome Diana to say hi to us. Hi, Diana.
Hi everyone. I hope I'm audible. Kindly can you confirm?
Yes, you're very audible.
Good evening everyone. My name is Diana Mogo. Yeah, I wish to appreciate all of your time and dedication for this webinar. It is important to prioritize your mental well-being and also welcome you to the Y Mental Health Program supported by Nina Kenya. It is important to be in such youthful spaces to improve on your mental well-being and also for networking, for career development. Yeah, that's all from me. Back to Kenya.
Thank you so much, Diana, for joining us. We really appreciate. And with me, I had two speakers of the day, that is Collins and Mary Mwai. And we also joined by Liz, whom I want to appreciate the three for taking their time to join us and to share their insights. To everyone who has contributed to this conversation, maybe through voice and also through the chat, we really appreciate you. I mentioned also as we started that you'll be having Wellness Wednesdays bi-weekly. So unaweza sema next week, tunaruka next week, another week we'll be having these conversations. We shall also be having a wellness quote each and every Wednesday. So I encourage you, ukipata hii quote, please share with the people. And you're always welcome to these conversations. So I'll pass it over to Tito. We'll get to welcome Zephania. And yes, if you want to be part of Y Mentor Club, I'm giving my contact in the chat box. Feel free to text me. If you also want to partner with us, we're very, very welcome to partnership and collaborations. Also, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you and karibu Tito.
Yes, thank you so much, Nina, for taking us through this session. It has been a very insightful session. And for Collins, Elizabeth, and Mary Mwai, karibuni sana. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on the wellness. And you have put it very well that wellness is all about you. You take care of yourself. And also, it's not just about your mental, but also even the balance that you are taking. So I want us to appreciate them in a special way. You can just open your mics and then we can do a round of applause, or you can use the chat, the normal, uh, the normal. Clap. You can just unmute and then just do a.
Nisaidie password.
Although sasa ifanye vizuri juu unajua ile kwa ofisi ya family juu nini why ilikuwa affected. So tunaanza kufanya vizuri.
You can unmute. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Nice. Nice. Wow. Okay. Thank you so much. One just Kenya said we shall be having everyone at these webinars in terms of just wellness led by mental health team. But every Monday, not every Monday, just bi-weekly, we shall be having other webinars that includes environmental, sports, hustling, entrepreneurship, and everything else. So I just want to welcome you. For instance, next week we shall be having another webinar on Monday, but on Wednesday we shall be having just a quote. And I just want to welcome you for upcoming activities on Wednesday. On this coming Friday, we have what we call N-Man chatbot games, whereby we come and discuss some pattern issues that involve the young people, but also we are doing it in terms of games, indoor games. So we shall be having several games that we shall be having, and also remember that we shall be having a coffee in the evening. And also there is a club called Book Club, led by Nancy Kiprono. I don't know if she's here. And they are discussing a book called Eat That Frog. It talks also about procrastination. So you are most welcome to join the team. They'll be having the discussion from around 3 p.m. on Friday, and then later they'll join the challenges. Also on that Friday, we are having a community engagement on suicide prevention. As you all know, September is a suicide prevention month. So we shall be having a community engagement at Udiru, Kathondeki area, whereby we are just focusing on suicide prevention and also talking to the young people on issues concerning suicide. So you're most welcome if you want to join the team going there. Kindly reach out to me, or you can reach out to Nina from the contact that she has shared, or anybody of us, and should be added in the list. And also just wanted to add that next month we shall be having several trainings on digital and literacy training. Also, we shall be having a social enterprise. These are 3 days training. So if you also want to be part of the team that will be joining the team, you are most welcome. So on that Friday, we shall be having one of our international volunteers from Germany. I don't know if he's here. So you are most welcome to come and join one of us. We had gone to Germany. Also, she'll be sharing some of the insight that she has gotten. And also, you all know that you get to know how you can be part of that to be part of the international volunteer. So maybe I can welcome Sevania to close us with us, as he also tell us some of, maybe as because he's the youth chairperson from the Kenya YMCA Central Branch. Maybe you can just say a word, Stephanie, as we could find out.
Thank you very much, Tito, for that. Well, international volunteer now. But anyway, come on Friday and get to experience this and hear some insights from the international volunteer. Thank you very much, Kenya, and your team. Sorry for that. And your team, Mary, Lisbeth, and the whole Y Mental team for leading the conversations on mental health. I hope these conversations are touching someone somewhere, and I believe they're touching also me. Kuna vitu nimesikia hapa that the battles that we don't see, that people fight, that hizo ndo the victories that they don't talk about. I know. Thank you very much for the conversations. It was said all. Karibu na YMCA, get to experience this and many more, and also come and volunteer. Come with your idea. We are ready to welcome you. We are ready to embrace you. Come and let us work together as young people. Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's webinar, and good night. Have a blessed night. In case of anything, you can always reach out to us. Nina shared this number. You can reach out to her and then she'll connect to us. Karibuni sana for our next session. See you on Monday. And those coming physically, see you on Friday. Good night. You can leave at your own personal time.
Tupatane Friday majamaa.
Kuna kahawa Simiyu, usisahau.
Oh.